Welcome to Disruption Blueprint with Shannon Spotswood from RFG Advisory. In this podcast, we help advisors grow their net worth, build their businesses, and maximize their independence. We've built an award-winning platform with innovative technology, comprehensive service, and a team of individuals who are experts in their field to serve advisors. Join us for this journey where we explore everything that has to do with running an independent advisor practice as we bring together successful advisors, industry experts, and innovative minds who are on the bleeding edge to challenge the status quo, foster new ideas, and create a path for advisors to unleash their growth potential. Now, on to the show.
Welcome to Disruption Blueprint. We are going to have some fun today. Ed, it's great for you to be here. This is a big moment for RFG. The infamous Michael Kitces has published his first ever inaugural Advisor Service Providers Map. And in this first run at Advisor Service Providers, he has created a category and called out Corporate RIA, and RFG is incredibly proud to be one of the firms named on this map as a Corporate RIA. Everybody knows about his technology, financial advisor solutions map. It is the gospel, the Bible of all things fintech. And now we have one for service providers. So let's just start out of the gate. What is a corporate RIA?
Yeah, great question, Shannon. And I personally have been a big fan of Kitces' work. I know a lot of us in the industry have followed him for over a decade. The map originally was meant to help, how do you source different technologies? It started off as a technology map. Who are the, best practices, the leaders in the space across all this kind of complicated fintech, wealth tech kind of opportunities. And so that was meant to be your kind of like map through how to navigate that as a financial advisor in the RIA space. What's a corporate RIA, which is so cool about this map, is on the service provider map, is a corporate RIA it's really someone who handles all of this support and service inside their corporate RIA. So for example, you technically sit on the ADV, right? In our case of RFG, but you are independent in that you own your own business, you have your own LLC, you can make your own decisions, but a corporate RIA is responsible for handling compliance, technology, integrations, and we'll get into it, but a lot of things on this map, it's integrated, it's done at the corporate RIA level so that the advisor doesn't have to. It does not mean they're employees of a corporate RIA. They can have their independent LLC, they can have their independent practices, but they really leverage the capabilities of the corporate RIA.
I mean, this is why, we had no advance notice that this map was coming out or that we would be included. And when it dropped, it was such a clarifying moment, I think, for RFG and the way that we talk about our platform capabilities, the way that we think about advisors and helping them to build their business without compromise, maximizing enterprise value, driving organic growth. And time after time after time, we always come back to the same touchstone, which is you own your data, you own your brand, you own your client relationships. You are creating enterprise value on your personal balance sheet. And what was such a, I think, powerful dot connecting to link together the financial advisor tech solutions map with the advisor service providers map is this allows advisors to be tapping into all of the resources that they need to serve their clients, invest their clients, handle financial planning, tax planning, all of the fintech, everything that they need to run their business in a profitable way.
And there's a huge difference between being a consultant to an advisor and running an corporate RIA, being responsible for all of that. And so in our model, you are responsible for it. You're responsible for delivering it in a coherent, efficient, scalable, integrated way. And that's what a great corporate RIA does. And so that's why we're ecstatic to be here as one of the top ones in the industry.
And it was, it's fun. And I've done this for many years. And like you, I'm a huge fan of the work that Michael does. But I've done this for many years as I've gone through the advisor fintech solutions. We've been known and we take tremendous amount of pride in being a client experience company first, being a technology company second, and a corporate RIA third. So the fintech part of our business, delivering fully integrated technologies to advisors, being on the list when new companies are coming to market, new technologies are coming to market, raising our hand to beta test, to be innovative, to be willing to explore what's out there. So the fintech map has always been really near and dear to my heart. But as we've grown in the service delivery in support of independent advisors, I oftentimes go through this and I'm like, yep, we do that, we do that, we do that. Financial planning, specialized planning, investment management, OCIO services, 401k implementation, client meeting support, AI assistant, operations, CRM, advisor fee billing, compliance, business development, prospecting, document management, like and. And then you layer on top of it an advisor service provider map. Now we're getting into some really core capabilities that we've built at RFG, namely around marketing and business development, all-in-one marketing, brand design, website design, SEO, social media marketing. This is something that we think is absolutely essential if you're going to get serious about walking the walk on organic growth. Also on this map is around business coaching. And we've built Stronger Money. We built a coaching program. And then one that we think is probably one of the single greatest levers that an advisor can pull to drive growth, free up their time, is outsource CIO services. You know, as you looked at this, Ed, and you think about the corporate RIA and the delivery of all those services in kind of the spirit of supporting independence, how hard is that to do?
Well, I think there's a question that an advisor has to ask themselves, and that is, how do they want to spend their time? If you look at these maps, which are awesome, and every advisor thinking about going independent should look at them, there are a lot of options.
Mm-hmm.
And how do they all fit together? How do you do due diligence on these? How do you find the right, mix, not only now, but say 3 years from now,
Right.
4 or 5 years from now? These names are evolving. There are billions of dollars being spent on fintech right now and on some of these service providers. So which are going to be the leaders in the next 3 to 5 years? Well, that's the job of the corporate RIA. And we have the scale and the size and the subject matter expertise to help advisors make those decisions and put forward through the corporate RIA a platform that we think speaks to them. And so that takes that off their plate.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so when they come in for a VIP and we spend time with them, they're looking for, does this check all the boxes? Is it what I want? And do I really want to be figuring this out, doing it on myself? The second thing I'd argue is there's a certain amount of liability that goes with any of this that the corporate RIA owns. So when you say compliance or legal, regulatory, and that's on the corporate RIA, that's not on the advisor. Of course, advisors have to be compliant. They have to be, follow regulatory rules, but supervision of that and regulatory policy and how you execute it, and then the liability around it, is owned by the corporate company. So that's a important thing for a lot of advisors, I would argue. Same on technology.
Mm-hmm.
Think about cybersecurity. Think about the phishing that's going on. Think about PII and client data. That's owned by the corporate RIA in this model. And you take that off your plate. So ultimately, we talk about this a lot on podcasts. How does the advisor focus on their clients, focus on prospects, and grow enterprise value?
Mm-hmm.
And a corporate RIA, I believe, is emerging, just by evidence of this map, is one of the best ways to do that for advisors in the market.
And I think such an important part of defining best is profitability.
Right. For an advisor.
For an advisor, being able to build a business that is growing, that is well-resourced, the right people in the right seat, access to whether it's advanced planning resources or technology resources that are tailored to deliver an exceptional client experience. All of that gets very expensive in a hurry. So when you can leverage the infrastructure of a corporate RIA, it allows the advisor to drive that enterprise value in a very profitable way.
And it gets more expenses as you make mistakes along the way, or learn, or have to switch out vendor partners. And so, offloading that to someone is usually a good use of time. Just like, would you cut your own hair?
Right.
Like when I go buy a car, do I want to see all the pieces of a car on the floor and I have to put it together?
Right.
And then drive in it? Or do you hire someone to do that for you? Similar kind of decision, building a house, So that's what we do, hopefully, for the advisors.
As it relates to advisors and the, increased need for capital solutions, whether it's for succession planning or wanting to acquire an advisor and roll them into your business as a W-2, or, any number, buy out a partner, any number of reasons that you need access to capital, does a corporate RIA constrain you in any way?
Not at all. So one of the interesting things about a lot of the models that have come up in the last 5-7 years is they really want to use capital to keep an advisor captive. And I think that's a mistake, right? You want a partner that where that's not the case. And so, specifically our model, you are not constrained by the capital decision. We have capital, we have access to capital. We like to have those conversations, but we are not owners,
Right.
W-2 owners of advisors. They are independent, even when they use our corporate RIA.
Yeah, it's just such an exciting moment.
The market's gotten so mature.
Right.
What's great is there's so many options for advisors.
That's right.
And I think it's a large enough and mature enough market that nuance matters.
Right.
So instead of like 10, 15 years ago, you just bucket as independent or W-2. Well, what does an independent RIA really mean? And what does it mean for advisors to pick the nuance within all of these channels? And a lot of the models now are driven by financing capital, and they're not focused on building great platform capabilities and offering a great corporate RIA. They're more focused on how do they deploy capital and get a great return, because the advisors, that they're investing in are growing.
That's right.
So different focus.
Well, anything else that we should touch on as it relates to this incredible moment in RFG's history?
We're happy to make the map.
Yeah.
We love to have the conversation. We get up every day thinking about how we can make it better.
Yeah.
And we're just super excited. It's a big moment for us.
It's a big moment. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you for listening to the Disruption Blueprint podcast. Click the follow button to be notified when new episodes become available. Visit our website at www.rfgadvisory.com or schedule a call on our advisor resources page. And don't forget to click the follow button to be notified when new episodes become available. Content here is for illustrative purposes and general information only. It is not legal, tax, or individualized financial advice, nor is it a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any specific security or engage in any specific trading strategy. Information here may be provided in part by third-party sources. These sources are generally deemed to be reliable. However, neither our guest nor RFG Advisory guarantee the accuracy of third-party sources. The views expressed here are those of our guest. They do not necessarily represent those of RFG Advisory, its employees, or its clients. This commentary should not be regarded as a description of advisory services provided by RFG Advisory or performance returns of any client. The views reflected in the commentary are subject to change at any time without notice. Securities offered by registered representatives of Private Client Services, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered by investment advisory representatives of RFG Advisory, a registered investment advisor. Private Client Services and RFG Advisory are unaffiliated entities. Advisory services are only offered to clients or prospective clients where RFG Advisory and its representatives are properly licensed or exempt from licensure. No advisory services may be rendered by RFG Advisory unless a client agreement is in place. RFG Advisory is an SEC-registered investment advisor. SEC registration does not constitute an endorsement of RFG by the Commission, nor does it indicate that RFG or any associated investment advisory representative has attained a particular level of skill or ability.